You'll treat me as an officer of the law.
Oh, yeah.
This is a hose head production.
Production. I need to know what production is from.
All right, welcome everybody to the podcast. Welcome back.
Hey, y'all.
We're getting back into it. I am one of your hosts, Tomcat, aka Tom Thompson, otherwise known as
Cringy ass bitch.
Yes, you are a cringy ass bitch. And I am another one of your hosts, Reverend Kaiju, aka Anton, aka the person who helps Tom spell.
Yes. No, Google does that for me.
It's not doing a good job.
Did I spell?
I'll happily relinquish that title over to Google and let them take the blame.
Did I not? I spelled probed, right?
Yes, you did.
Did I?
But you spelled butt wrong.
It's B-U-T-T.
I know. I just wanted to make you spell it.
Motherfucker. For all the people just listening, I have one of those cinema signs, and I put aliens probed my butt for this episode.
And for all of our listeners, Tom also has a probe in his butt, which you can't see right now, but it's there, and it's blinking.
It's about the size.
Bro, you got to upgrade your butt plug. That's too small.
Don't be. I thought you were gonna pull out like a fucking black huge dildo.
Get yourself one of these, buddy. No, dude, right, I don't shame. I don't none of that, but that ain't my flavor. But I did bring some special friend of ours that our listeners will remember and our viewers will remember for this episode in particular.
Okay, who's that?
Let me go get them really quick.
Okay. Oh, God, this stupid thing. Can you guess what I'm drinking on?
Is it a gin and tonic?
Yes, you are correct, sir. You are correct, sir.
For all our listeners, Tom's actually just a gigantic fan of Mrs. McMurray from Letterkenny.
I've never even seen that show other than what Billy showed me.
He's always trying to get some cocksucking G&Ts.
That is delicious. That is
so
delicious.
Gross. So gross. I got my alien ashtray for this episode, bro. I'm fucking ready. Let's get into some crazy, weird teenage jungle abduction.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about world leaders either, folks.
No. I still have some Pineapple Express, so I'm going to get on that. And like I said, on the one episode, we have X'd certain episodes that weren't up to the low standards that we do have. So we will be recovering some very big cases and episodes that got a lot of big downloads, even though they weren't up to my standards, which are very low. But be prepared because we got one coming soon with Billy that's going to be pretty exciting, and I think you guys will dig it. I got some Pineapple Express in my pen, and guess what I just watched on Monday? Again.
Backdoor Sluts 9.
No, that was last week. Mars Attacks.
Nice. I'm not putting my tattoo up to the screen. All I have to say is fuck Pete Davidson. I had a Mars Attacks tattoo way before he did.
I like Pete Davidson.
My only beef with him is that, he has a Mars Attacks tattoo, and anyone that got one after I got one is obviously inferior. So.
Fucking Kim Kardashian's gargantuan ass. It's ridiculously
he can
big.
Fuck a hobbit all he wants. I don't know.
It's so weird. Like Chelsea, like the new season of the Kardashians came on like fucking Disney Plus, which is so weird. And yeah,
ABC, right? Or no?
It's through I don't know, one of the stupid things they own now. It's just like I was editing and she was watching it, and I'm like, it just looks unnatural, so unnatural. It's fucking weird.
Her ass?
Yes.
Isn't it cosmetic? Did she get surgery?
It is.
Okay.
It is fucking. It's massive, and when it's photoshopped, it looks nice. But if you see her in like everyday bikinis, it looks all sorts of gross.
It's whatever. I got some cherry Kool-Aid. I'm gonna put in my pipe and smoke. For our listeners, this is being recorded on 4/21, so you'll have to excuse me. But yesterday was, as the kids said 30 years ago, off the hizzy.
Yes, we were. It was 4/20 the day before we recorded this. We actually talked about doing a fun 420 rant style episode, even for the Patreon, or just for a bonus episode. But I got so stoned I forgot about it.
I'd say, like true stoners, we just procrastinated until it was too late. So
exactly. And yeah, I watched Mars Attacks recently, which will be coming eventually on to our Unreal reviews on Patreon. So make sure you subscribe and support the world keeping it strange. Support us keeping the world strange. Should I say?
want the listeners to know that they still got 2 out of 4 hosts working for them, and that ain't bad.
All right, so let's get into an alien abduction in a jungle. The jungle, I kept calling it the Jungle Boy alien abduction to you.
Luis Carlos Serra. Yeah, I know. And it took me so long to like remember what this dude's name was to look him up. And every time you said Jungle Boy, my mind went to Jungle Book. So I was like, well, this dude's name isn't Mowgli, so I can't look that up. And dude, you'd be amazed at how little comes up when you pop UFO jungle abduction into the search engine. Like it's music. It's mostly music.
Sounds like, I don't know if I should call it that. If I should call, I think I should I call it Jungle Boy alien abduction?
No, you should call it Jungle Boogie.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Jungle Boogie. Let's just start naming our episodes after fucking weird songs that were in Tarantino flicks.
All right. Well, let me know. I don't know what to name this yet. Alien abduction in the jungle. Jungle alien abduction. Jungle Boy gets abducted by aliens.
Bunghole in the jungle.
You never give good suggestions when I ask you for them.
What are you talking about? It's a great suggestion. You just don't like my suggestions.
In March 1978, a fisherman was out by a river in the state of Manahara, Brazil.
Gross.
Hit that cringe button already.
You're so cringy.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck, this weed's good.
Cringy ass bitch.
You are.
Marinaho. Did you find out how to pronounce this, bitch?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Google was the person helping you pronounce
I do not. I go to Google Speak when I have to speak. But I guess I am speaking right now.
Maranhao?
Maranhao. I didn't say it.
Maranhao?
I'm an English kid that didn't even care to fucking learn French because I hated it. So
you didn't even really learn English, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. That's because do I have that yet? No, I don't.
Well, you speak Canadian. I speak American. None of us speak English. We speak a variation thereof.
And fucking when's that? Look at me on my knees, Japanese.
Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these.
Yes. What the fuck did I say? All right. Well, it is 422. So let's get into this. So in Brazil, when his like concentration was broken, this fisherman in 1978, he's out fishing in Brazil, and you know his concentration. I don't know how much concentration you need when fishing. You just have to stare at the water and hopefully something pulls on your rod.
No, motherfucker, he's fishing in Brazil. He doesn't have a Bassmaster fucking rod. He's most likely either using his hands, a net, or a spear.
Yes. I guess a spear would make sense. And this is 1978, so Brazil wasn't doing that well.
Brazil's not doing that well right now.
Yeah, no wonder. But you know what? As far as I know, they're not bought out by the World Economic Forum, so we will see. They're bought out by the cartels. So when his concentration was broken by screams from a nearby jungle. Gonna give me a Brazilian scream?
Aye!
One thing I gotta say about Brazil is goddamn, man, dude, they have nice looking ladies. They have extremely sexy ladies, in my opinion.
You know, a lot of them have penises, right?
Some of them, but it's not as bad as Japan. But if you
Thailand.
Thailand, same shit. But if
and
you
there go our Japanese listeners.
Yeah, well, Sudan, what up, man? I got you on my back still. So. You know, and they, you know, the sexy Brazil parades, man. I don't know if some of them are men. They look damn
Carnival.
good. Yeah, Carnival, man. Their big booties are out. I don't know how kids can go to that thing. I don't think they should be allowed, but hey.
Because most of Europe is not founded by a bunch of prudes like fucking Canada and America are.
That's true. Or spoiled rich kids. Alarmed, the fisherman stopped what he was doing. And you didn't give me a Brazilian scream yet.
I did.
Did you? Maybe I'm too stoned.
But I'll give you another one. Hang on. Hi-yo!
Oh yeah, I do remember you doing that, man. That's what weed does to your brain. You forget things in fucking 3.5 seconds.
Marijuana affects the memory.
Alarmed, the fisherman stopped what he was doing and ventured into the thick, murky underbrush towards the desperate cries until he came to a teenage boy laying there on the ground. He said, "Can I get the little sucky sucky for $5?"
Any tin you want. Well, wait, how did we go from Brazil to Vietnam? What happened here?
How do you? Is Brazil's in Spanish accent? Isn't it? I'm not gonna butcher
I
that
think
too.
Brazil speaks Portuguese and Spanish.
Hmm.
I think those are the two languages in Brazil. I could be very wrong. Portugal is near Spain, so I'm probably very wrong because Brazil is near America.
I thought they speak German. Oh, that's in Argentina.
No, that's Argentina.
The boy seemed to be in a rough shape, unable to move, and even when asked who he was, he could only respond with gargling cries of pain. I don't think you sound like a fucking lawnmower starting. He's an 18-year-old boy, not an 80-year-old man.
I don't know. He got all fucked up by aliens, dude. I don't know how to sound. I'm doing my best here.
Whoever this boy was, he seemed to be in a sort of like spaced out daze. And considering there was blood coming from his mouth, the fisherman assumed he had been attacked by someone. When authorities spaced out,
you fucking pun.
Spaced out, dazed.
Spaced out.
Dazed and confused.
Yeah, spaced out because he got picked up by aliens.
Oh, punny. That's punny as shit. Billy would love that one. Billy would love it. So when authorities arrived, the boy was taken to a hospital. They realized he had 4 missing teeth. He got
his molars were torn out. His molars were ripped out, and like a lot of his front teeth were fucked up and jagged too. Apparently,
yes.
The dude also had a ton of radiation burns all over him, which, of course, you know, anyone familiar with UFO cases was well aware that radiation burns are a very common, you know, physiological trait of being abducted.
So with other teeth jagged and broken, as Anton said, patches of his hair that appeared to have been literally burnt off, red marks almost like sunburns around his ears, and by the time doctors looked at him, he was somewhat of like unresponsive in a kind of a catatonic state. So he hit that good indica. He
got jungle locked instead of couch locked.
Is there a weed strain with the name Jungle in it? I should have smoked that.
There has to be, right?
Yeah.
There has to be.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say a really bad joke. Never mind. So
a cancelable joke?
Yes. Yeah. He was moved to more of a modern medical facility. What do they mean modern? They out in the woods in a makeshift fort?
Well, you know how you have like urgent cares and then you have hospitals and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So you probably had what was known as aid stations for like military people, which are just set up like Red Cross tent style things, versus having an actual hospital in the city. So you would have like a village doctor and what have you, which probably just had your normal like in-home everyday physician setup. But if you needed more advanced stuff like X-rays or facilities to perform surgery, you'd probably have to go to
the doctor's like, hey, wait, okay. You see, you got very hurt very badly. Can I pee inside your mouth and we'll see if that heals it? I pee on everything. I pee on snake bites. I pee on broken elbows, and somehow it fixes it. I am the miracle doctor.
My urine, it is magical.
I just feel like they're like, here's some beeswax. Let me just rub it on the fucking wound.
All right, listeners, I apologize. I will have a cough drop because I'm getting over being sick and my voice is ultra nasally.
Anton got COVID 3 times in a row.
Right? Totally. I got like 81 fucking vaccines and 12 booster shots. I don't know how I'm supposed to never get sick again.
So only after a few days did he begin to come out of his weird daze. Days, man, days. This kid was out. What he did, he had a quite strange story to tell.
That's fucking strange.
And so would begin one of the weirdest alien abduction accounts Brazil has ever seen. It started as a normal day for he's 16 years old. My bad. 16-year-old.
That's
Luis
weird, Tom.
Carlos Serra.
Carlos Luis Serra.
who in March 1978 was near his home in the village of Panevra.
Ginevra.
And collected guava fruit for his family.
Guava's a great Ween album.
Man, who listens to Ween? Fucking
dorks.
Yeah, like I said, you would have got a very along with the strange kid Spencer that came on one episode for the if you guys remember, it was for the mermaid episode. Spencer is a weird child and he tried to show me some weird music and I said, I don't know about this.
Meanwhile, Tom listens to just the most obscure doom rap you've ever heard in your life.
No, I listen to the constant screeching of a hawk, and that's what people think I'm like bopping to rap beats, but no, it's just the hawk gets me through my day.
It's your motivation.
I don't even know how a hawk sounds, to be honest.
Oh, dude. Yeah, just like a very sharp.
So he had a weird story. It started for him. He's 16 years old. He's out near his home in this village, and he's collecting fruit. The area was covered in thick jungle, but he had been out there so many times before, and Lewis, thought it was just another boring day until that day began to take a strange turn. Started with a loud noise, like a siren that boomed and reverberated amongst the trees.
Was it that kind of siren? Was it a Temptress of the Deep siren? Yeah. Or was it like a
swim that far?
Purge siren?
Forever Purge wasn't.
Most of the Purge movies suck. I don't get the fucking fascination with them, other than people loving them because they're like, "How cool would it be if I got to run around killing people?"
No, it's just a weird new genre of like horror movies. Or it's just like and it's not even that new technically, but
no, it's not. It's a post-apocalyptic horror movie. Yeah. It's been done better. Called Escape from New York.
Yeah, that's true. First two are not bad. I've watched all of them, but I'm a weird horror fan. And get ready for that too. For horror movies, most of the plan is horror movies, but it might venture off into other things that me and Anton have plans. And hopefully one day Billy can join in on this fun stuff on the Patreon, which he's going to develop more time. I don't know where, out of his magical hands, his alien fucking ET fingers. He's going to develop more time. And, we're going to do some commentary on horror movies. So the idea, we've said it before, is you press play as soon as we start the movie and you get to hear us make fun of it.
Yeah, our commentary tracks. We'll basically be doing riff tracking, but I don't think I can call it riff tracking. Tom, beat that out.
I beat it. I beat it hard.
I said beep it, not beat it.
I beat it. Oh, yeah, it's true. So starting with loud noises, obviously, boom, he's just like, what the fuck is happening? This was not normal. Sound for a jungle. Well, no shit. Obviously not natural. And at first, Luis thought it might have been an aircraft overhead, but when he looked up, it would prove to be no normal aircraft.
It was, in fact, a big-ass fucking spaceship.
When Luis peered up through the canopy of the trees, stretching far above, he felt nearly blinded by the intensely bright light. As he stood there, frightened, wondering what possibly could produce such light, he suddenly found that he couldn't move his body. Classic.
Total classic. Sleep paralysis.
Yes.
Loss of time.
I don't even know what time it is right now. Luis would claim that something had paralyzed him, and he felt the ground, and he fell to the ground, unable to move or even cry out. As he lay there helpless, the light began to sort of congeal around him, almost like Cosby's favorite Jell-O pudding.
That's not the only thing that's congealing when you got the Cosby in you.
That's true. Do you think he could still jizz on him when they were fucking asleep? You think he still had or to come out like a powder? Like,
what do you mean? While they're still asleep? How would them sleeping have anything to do with the consistency of Bill Cosby's jizz?
I don't know, man. I just thought, like, how can he even get hard still? Why doesn't he need to put them asleep? Why doesn't he just like, I don't know.
This shit was happening when Cosby was in his 30s and 40s.
That's true, because Joe Rogan says he remembers stuff in the fucking like the 80s, hearing stories about him.
Well, Joe Rogan wasn't a comedian in the 80s. Joe Rogan was still a lad in the 80s, I believe.
80s or 90s? Maybe I'm wrong.
Early 90s is when he was on news radio and shit. Yeah.
He said not. I swear he said 80s, at the late 80s, maybe. But
probably. I mean, I'm sure he's spoken to comedians that were around in the 80s that like talked about it.
He is like fucking 75, man. Looks great though.
He's almost 60, I think, right?
I know. I'm just joking. So off of Cosby's cum until he was enveloped by the Jello pudding. Give me a Jello pudding, bro.
Oh, I got the Jello pudding, and I'm gonna zipper zapper with my pudding pop. Put it in your ear. Ooh, you're gonna love it.
Tell me that you're gonna probe this young boy.
Louise, you see, I like the way that the sweat glistens off your back, and I just want you to know that I've made you a beverage because you look like you're sweating a lot on this beautiful day. That's right. Yep, swallow it all down. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a pudding pop. I'm gonna put it in your fucking ear, boy. That's right.
Why do you love pudding pops so much? That because he was on the commercial all the time?
Because no, it's just stereotype because he was hawking pudding pops all the time.
What a strange fellow! Wow,
What a strange man.
When he dies, he'll definitely be on the Famous Dead, and it's not gonna be a pretty one.
Oh my God, it's not gonna be a Famous Dead. It's gonna be a How Much Do We Hate Bill Cosby episode.
You know who the most hated woman in America right now is? Jada fucking Smith.
Yeah, she should be. She's a fucking whore.
Yeah, she's like, see you next Tuesday. All right,
She's a cunt.
yeah, there you go. So obviously it was enveloped by this goo, this substance, and he felt it, lift his body off the forest floor into the air as something were pulling him towards upward we go. Now terrified, the boy continued his ascend. He's going up into the sky. Right through the branches of the canopy and above the sea of the jungle green. That's when he finally saw the source of the light. And according to Louise, hovering above him, is it Louis? Is it not? It's Louise.
Lois?
Is
there's no way for me to do a Brazilian without making it super racist. So, Lois, come back to Chamada.
It's Louis. Have I been saying Louise or am I just high?
I think it's Louise.
No, it's Louis. Well, okay, fuck this kid's name. All right, his name is Louis now. Like the kid from fucking Even Stevens. So according to hovering over the jungle was a large round object with a dome top lined with windows along the sides. And after he was floating to get closer to the craft and closer to the craft, he claimed that he was pulled towards this mysterious sphere and right through the fucking window. He went through the window.
Yeah, because it's just some sort of weird like force field thing instead of like an actual glass window, as you or I would call it. It's just, membrane of sorts.
Yes.
Took me a second to think of the word, but yeah, a membrane.
I'm trying to think of what's that movie where the guy like gets fucking, he's like, I think it's shot back. Oh, it's stupid. That movie, dumbass. Guy from fucking Tool Time, Tim Allen.
If you're gonna sit there and talk shit about Galaxy Quest, I'm leaving this podcast right now. Okay.
I actually watched that recently, and it's still pretty good. It's a weird movie.
It's very weird, but the best part about the DVD is there's a segment where Sigourney Weaver raps.
What?
Yeah. It's terrible.
We have to do that for an Unreal review.
Galaxy Quest?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fun. It is we are here to get you. The way the fucking guy talks.
Yeah, trying to mimic the human voice.
Yeah, we are here from the planet. Fuck you. All right, so
great job.
This spaceship does remind me of Barney and Betty Hill, and how it has like the windows all along it, like the typical.
Were you trying to pretend that it froze there, or what were you doing?
It's like the typical flying saucer, right?
Yeah,
and how Barney and Betty Hill saw like inside the windows.
So windows on the top or windows around like the middle of the rim? Because it's usually like you have that stereotypical, like, for example,
yes,
this.
But when Barney and Betty Hill saw, if you go back to the episode, right, it's like a windows around it. It's got like a dome on top. It's got the windows around. They can peer
and then
through.
each individual, like going through on the sides. Okay. So we're dealing with that type of craft.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. So he like materialized or dematerialized, as you say, through this craft and materialized inside of it, and pretty crazy. And then when he was inside, he was then gently lowered to the floor, from which Lewis looked up and could see three humanoid beings in metallic suits, visors standing around him, speaking in some unknown language.
You know what's crazy? For as gently as they, the care they took in bringing him onto the ship, clearly somewhere in between now and when he's discovered, things take a very violent turn because the dude is fucked up when he's found.
He's fucked up.
He's
and they don't really, I think
foobarred.
they like, I think they want to keep you as calm as possible. If this whole phenomenon is real, I definitely believe that aliens are real. We will get smoked out of a bong from an alien one day.
Well, we are. It's right behind you. And it'll soon be behind me whenever Teespring, sends me my shit.
And then we'll have.
Oh, now you did glitch for real.
I just think.
Oh, no, you're glitching again.
All right, whatever. Fuck it. Well, you know what? I'm not glitching on my side. And you know what? The audio gets cut. The YouTube kind of gets some of the raw cut. But you know what? I'm going to raw cut all over your fucking face.
Do it.
So the thing is, I think it's fine they're wearing visors, like there's some fucking poker player trying to hide their fucking their gaze onto the cards.
They're just looking down like.
It'd be funny if they're full on like metallic suits and they're wearing like the visors like fucking fucking Thompson used to wear.
Oh, the Raoul Duke Green Vegas visor. Yeah, that'd be great. There's one of them just got aviator glasses on. There's bats flying around overhead.
Smoking a cigarette, fucking with the holder.
The one alien just stumbling around. He's fucked up on some sort of space drugs.
Man, if we got some crazy drugs, I couldn't imagine what they have.
What do you think? Well, I mean, what do you think's of that bong behind you? That ain't fucking regular terrestrial weed. They got no time for earth weed. That's like human souls getting smoked through that bong, dude.
Dumb and full of cum, man. They love it.
It's adrenochrome. They're smoking adrenochrome.
So they're speaking some unknown language to him. As he tried to comprehend what was going on, the craft began to move, and things would get even stranger still. Although his memory of the event would remain somewhat murky, he says the craft went to a place that was dark and devoid of mountains.
Dark and devoid of mountains. So, a valley would be in between mountains.
Yeah.
But like a pit?
He was in the Grand Canyon, bro. They took him from Brazil to the Grand Canyon in less than 2 seconds because they have that technology. Yeah,
they just opened a wormhole and they just dumped his ass in the Grand Canyon out of all.
And then you have a bunch of tourists with their fucking binoculars being like, look at that, Susie. It's a fucking spacecraft.
I don't think we're supposed to call them spacecrafts no more. They're, Wanda, they're not PC.
But literally, no, there was no mountains, skies, stars, and trees. It was devoid of all of this.
So it was just a void then.
Yeah, but it was just a vast, expansive, weird like area, almost like when you go into the Matrix and you're in that where it's like nothingness, where it's just like completely white. But the weird thing is there was some sort of tall grass.
Okay.
Nothing but blackness above. Oh, so it was like all black with all this grass around him, which is even weirder. And he levitated back out of the craft. And he was set down above a flat rock in the clearing. And he would say, what happens next? Fuck. All right, here we go. I was taken to a strange land with no trees and only with the tall grass. Oh, why am I going back into Mexican? Give me an example. I'll edit this out of the audio. Give me an example of like a Spanish accent.
I got nothing, man. My mind my accents immediately go to Mexican too.
I'm fuck it then. All right, I'm doing it Mexican. I was taken to a strange land with no trees and only with tall grass. I do not
Mexican
know how
Randy Savage. I was taken to a strange land with no Slim Jims and lots of trees.
Hulk Hogan, you're done.
I said, even here, I'm coming for Hulkamania.
I do not know how long it took me to get up there. I went out to the window and just came in. There was nothing supporting my back. I was still paralyzed. It was a very strange place. I did not know. It seemed to be like a field, but with no birds or it's a, you know what? I'm going to redo this for everybody. He's a fucking 16-year-old kid. I was taken. I'm just joking. I was taken to a strange land with no trees and only tall grass. I do not know how long it took me to get there. I went out of the window just as I came in with nothing supporting my back. I was still paralyzed. It was a strange place. I did not know. It seemed like a field, but no birds. But the grass was very high, only about 1 meter. I did not see any house or building. I could not see the sky. There was no trees or stars. It was very dark. I was still paralyzed. So those people approached me and put a tube up my nose, and it did not hurt. Then they put a transparent ball in my mouth. Oh, that sounds getting a little sexy. And a liquid ran down my fucking throat too fast. I fell asleep and did not know what happened after that, and I woke up in the bush.
That dude definitely was taking loads after load after load down the throat from these aliens.
It very much seems like they probably jerked into a ball, and then they fucking shoved it down his throat.
No, dude, it's one of those fetish toys that, like, keeps your mouth pried open so people can just come up and just use it.
Oh, yeah, like bukkake.
No, it's like for S&M orgies and stuff. They make the same thing for assholes. That like just
I've
gapes
seen
it
it
and then
in
you just
bukkake videos though. They stretch the Asian's mouth, and they cut inside it so he can't fucking spit it out. Never seen those videos? Am I the only one?
I'm not familiar with those documentaries, Tom. No.
Bukkake, man. Look it up. Just look it up.
Oh,
right
I know.
now. I'm telling all the fans. If you're a fucking 16-year-old boy, especially, look it up. See how it makes you feel. Okay.
Do not. First of all, if you're that young, turn this show off immediately, please.
Hey, I got bitched out at Phasmophobia the other day. I was playing Phasmophobia late at night too, but he was British, so I guess they're like, but they're a couple hours ahead, I guess.
They're British, so they're not people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and so let me tell you this story really quick. I'm gonna keep it in because I think it's funny. I was playing Phasmophobia. I was doing late night streaming and stuff like that, and which I normally don't do. So I was like, you know what, Anton's not around. I'm gonna jump on some Phasmophobia. And there was this chick in the match, and this other guy, and then someone else was in there, but we didn't hear them at first. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be cool. Like these people seem cool. I'm gonna jump in because I kept getting kicked out of matches out of fucking games. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm annoying. And so I was drinking, so I probably am very stoned. So I probably was annoying. And then so I came in this match. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I was making jokes. The chick was laughing at my jokes with the guy. And then the kid's like, can you hear me? Fuck, do a British accent for me.
Can you hear me? Can you please hear me, sir?
Can you hear me, sir? And he's like, can you hear? And I was like, yeah, we can hear you. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. My little British boy. And I was like, can you say, you're a wizard, Harry? And I kept saying that. And and this guy's like, actually, the one guy's like, I actually want to hear you say that too. So I got him to say it. And he's like, you're a wizard, Harry. And I was like, man, that just warmed my heart, dude. And he's like, I love you, mate. And I was like, you're a cool kid. And then he's like, I found a Ouija board. And I was like, all right. I was like, you know what? I have 3 Ouija boards. You know what? All you got to do is you got to get a Ouija board. You got to call some shit. It's fun times, man. And then the girl's like, don't be telling him that. And I'm like, all you can do is you use a piece of paper and you spell the alphabet and numbers, and you can put it with a shot glass and you can make a Ouija board. He's like, I don't think so. And she was like, don't tell him how to make a fucking Ouija board. I'm like, I was playing it when I was 12. It's okay. He's only 8, but he can learn. And then she's like, good thing she said something about like to him because they were walking in another direction, so I couldn't really hear them that well. And she's like, you know, there's weird people on the internet. And he's like, I know that. I try to be careful. And I was like, weird. She's like, you know what? The internet's not the problem. It's the people. And I'm like, he's playing a fucking ghost game on the internet at 8 years old. I wouldn't let my own kid do it. And she didn't like that.
Wow.
I was gonna put on the Patreon the fact that like she cussed me out and shit, and I was like, fuck these people. I logged off. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Why is that a big deal? Do you think that's a big deal?
Yeah, you're just encouraging some kid to fucking go and pull a Ouija board out.
Why is parents? It's like the kids are on Friday the 13th. Why are you playing a game that has ghosts and ghouls?
Why are you intentionally antagonizing that child?
I thought it was hilarious, man. Tell me some.
You apparently were the only one that thought it was hilarious.
Tell me some fucking Harry Potter quotes, man. I love it. Come on, do it. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, that was. I was like, Jesus Christ, people get so offended. I was just telling them to use the Ouija board and how to do it.
First of all, you never are supposed to use a Ouija board by yourself.
I did it.
Are we using you as the exam, as the role model now?
No. All right,
Yeah,
back to
exactly.
aliens. I just had to tell you that, and I just decided to tell you.
Oh my God.
Maybe I'll cut that from the audio, but stay in the video.
Oh no, that's staying in the audio. Don't you dare cut that.
It would not be until 3 days later that he would be found there by the fishermen. 3 days later after the abduction. And we're eventually going to get into Travis Walton very soon. Me and Anton have talked about getting into Travis Walton. I actually saw him, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. You met Travis Walton?
He was at an alien convention near one of the cities I lived. And we went, and I didn't buy any. I just wanted to check it out. It was the first time we went. And I wanted to go around, and I'll talk about it in the episode. But then we saw him. Chelsea like, oh, there's that guy. And I was like, what?
Very cool.
Travis Walton, come tickle my bumhole. I'm just joking. He tickle my bum with his mustache. Did you find Travis Walton?
You're not making it any better. No.
I'm just fucking kidding. So obviously it was 3 days later when he was found by the fishermen. It would turn out that he had been supposedly he'd been in a search effort to locate the boy. This whole village was in a search effort.
Mm-hmm. They were frantically looking for him.
Yeah, they were concerned. He disappeared and they didn't know where he was at. The incident would capture the attention of UFO researcher and journalist Bob Pratt, who would go to the region to interview Lewis and other locals about what happened. Also finding out that there had been several other sightings of UFOs in the area at the time. And you think about it, 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even on to the 80s, a huge concentrate of UFOs, UFO abductions, and it goes pretty deep. The fact that this was so prevalent, especially during the 60s and 70s to me.
Well, it was when it was really starting to gain steam was in the 60s and 70s, because it was first reported in the 40s. And then, through the 50s, we had the atomic sci-fi age. So it was reported, but it wasn't taken as seriously. Yes, and then now we're kind of living in the golden age of disclosure, even though it's half disclosure or it's a soft disclosure. But
if they disclose aliens, the military complex fucking just disappears.
No, it doesn't. Crumble. What the fuck are you talking about? If they disclose aliens, the military complex gets more money if those aliens are hostile.
Yeah, but the thing is, it would crumble though if they were advanced as they say they would be advanced. They'd be traveling. If they could reach here from some other planet or something like that, they would be advanced, which means technologically they'd be advanced. We would wipe out our military. They would just do it Mars attacks, turn you into fucking dust, or they would just weapons would dissipate in your hands.
You're saying they'd be destroyed, not that they would just dissolve.
Yeah, maybe they could just fucking wow with their mind. The fucking gun's gone.
You're saying that the military would be physically defeated. What I thought you were saying was that the military would just be like, we're out of here. Bye-bye. We're done.
I just think if aliens would show up, that it would be dissolved slowly. Like not that slow, but like fucking they wouldn't be able to do shit. What are they going to do? All these if there were good aliens, all your guns are gone. They're going to take them. If they're bad aliens, you're fucking dead anyway.
Are you saying that good people take away guns? That's what it sounds like you're saying, Tom.
Peacekeeping. No, if every citizen should have a gun, no government official or police should have guns, because who cares if they die anyway? Just joking. Support your boys in blue if they're not assholes. Are we going off on a fucking bad thing here or what?
I don't know what this wee shit is, but I'm just kind of letting you take the reins and watching this train wreck at this point.
So obviously Bob Pratt, a researcher, would go to interview Lewis and find out what happened. So Pratt would also interview a medical personnel who had examined the boy, including a neurologist and 2 psychiatrists, and even spoke with the town's mayor. What do you think the town's mayor looks like? He's wearing like fucking like those leaves around his waist, like he's like Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
I'm so glad that if for all of our listener and a half that exist in Brazil, that they are now gone.
We love you. Don't worry. We're just fucking joking. I know you have cities and prostitutes.
Your brain goes one way and my brain goes the other way, where I just picture him as the typical fat American mayor wearing the sash, which is the only reason you know that he's the mayor. It's because he has a sash that just says mayor.
Yeah, but it's a sash, but it's made out of leaves, and they spell like mayor with fucking twigs on his chest.
The E is backwards because they're a backwards people, and there's no E in mayor.
Bro, what do you think they're wearing?
You didn't catch that there's no E in mayor.
Oh yeah, Mayor.
Spell it like John Mayer for some reason.
Just that's the only CDs they get down there. Is just John Mayer CDs.
And they're like, every village needs a mayor, but it's John Mayer.
He has a fucking guitar, but it's actually a ukulele and it's made out of fucking bamboo. That's how he
fucking
captured
Tiny Tim.
Tiptoe through the jungle, you'll get butt fucked by aliens.
That was pretty good.
I could do it probably better if I'd raised my voice a little higher and annoy the neighbors. So they spoke with the mayor, who had a rational explanation for that. Who had none of them had rational explanations of why he was found in the condition that he was. Rather, curiously, according to the research Albert Rosales, in August 1978, there was a sighting of 3 glowing humanoids in silver coveralls and round translucent helmets. Like you're like typical alien. That's weird, to be honest. If there was reports of that, that is actually pretty strange.
I see, this whole thing to me has a very somebody was testing some nasty shit out in the jungle and someone got caught in the crossfire kind of shit.
Could be true. Could be true.
Like maybe it was a sound weapon or an energy weapon or something along those lines. And they went in and like they found him and were like, oh fuck, he's still alive and he's not bad enough that we should maybe just liquidate him. Cause you know, you'll probably come looking for this kid.
Why would they care about a kid in a village though, man? It's a village. There's like fucking 15 people there.
That's the other thing too, is I don't know, any number of reasons. Maybe that research team had a conscience.
Well, he's too old to sell him in the sex trafficking ring in Brazil, so let's just leave him be. Yes, the world is a dark and nasty place. If you don't know already, you'll find out. Which is weird. They found these weird humanoids that are in silver coveralls, and they're just strange people, and they don't know if it's connected to Lewis's remains. It's unknown, but I think it's fine. They're wearing little helmets. It just, to me, it's like it is like Mars Attacks, where they just have the dome around the fucking head.
I just love that you said remains when this dude survives.
Yeah, the case remains unknown.
No. Never mind. I thought you said when they found his remains. I was like, they found him. They didn't find his remains.
Technically, he still remains, right?
No, remains are what remains after the person has died.
Who gave that definition?
That's the definition.
It's hard to know what to make of this utterly bizarre case. Investigators who have looked into this deemed Lewis to be perfectly rational and calm. A calm witness, who never got away from his real story. The story that he told, he stuck with, which to me, I'm a believer. I believe in aliens. I always will. No one will stop me from doing it. Even if you strap me up to one of those James Bond traps where you get hit in the testicles constantly, I'll still admit aliens exist.
Okay. And
if you're wondering on the YouTube why my camera keeps moving, it's because my dog is freaking out under my feet. He's literally digging in the carpet like it's a fucking hole. I don't know what he's doing. He's gonna be our mascot when he gets a little better. I'm gonna order him a what the fuck, man? All right, so good thing we're almost at a close on this bitch. So time editing comes in. This won't even be that long of an episode. Maybe one of our shortest.
Yeah, it'll be like 45 minutes. Well, it's a fucking 4-paragraph case. Like, there's not much info on this at all.
Because it's from Brazil. Do they actually document anything that happens there? People just go missing there all the time. Tourists get found fucking dead. You get your wallet stolen constantly. If you get into a cab with the wrong person, you're in a fucking ditch somewhere. And then the fucking Brazilian police are like, you know what? Like, that was my cousin Rodrigo. He needs some money, man. What's a Brazilian name?
No. A Brazilian name is
Carlos.
Luis.
It's fucking Louis, okay? It is Louis.
It's Luis.
That sounds French to me.
Latin, right? Romance languages.
Yeah. Can you speak Pig Latin?
Igpe Atenlay.
Sucking my dick at A.
Uxuk. Umai. Icade.
Is there somewhere out there that just speaks Pig Latin strictly?
No.
That'd be hilarious.
I think Pig Latin's a joke language. I'm like,
It is.
yeah, but
Like French.
like French.
So it's obviously deemed that he was rational, and he never deviated from his core story of what he told.
Never deviated from his story. He never gained anything from his story. That's one of the things, that's really big within the UFO world, is that most people who report UFO sightings and actually tell stories of abductions, they don't go on the tour circuit and make a bunch of money. They end up having what careers or paths that they have in life destroyed by these stories.
Yeah.
So that alone should either lend a little bit of credibility to it, or, could be the argument that that's just their mental illness coming out and it was a hallucination.
Who knows in today's world? But Nikes did send him some shoes so he could stop wearing fucking tree branches tied with bark on his feet.
Yeah, they were Nike decades.
Yeah, and then he mysteriously was found dead in a fucking hotel room. Where were they? A complex. Where were they?
They were renting fucking call back to our Heaven's Gate episode.
Yeah, we just did it. It was like a mansion, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were renting like a giant mansion.
Yeah.
And we did the conversion rate on the episode too. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but it was
throwback.
It's a really good episode. Go out there and listen to that.
Yeah, it's a great episode, one of our better ones. But they're all great. They're all amazingly strange if you like us strange fellows. So there's nothing about him that suggests he would simply fabricate such an otherworldly tale, and no reason to suspect he would ever gain anything from it. There is also the collaborating reports of the other strangeness in the area. So what do we think all this? Is it just a mix with local superstition, maybe a dose of minor hysteria, or is there something more to it? For now, the strange case of Luis Carlos Serra remains an intriguing mystery that sees no concrete conclusion in sight and is left in the realm of speculation. To believe or not to believe, the Host Hedge can go on the Host Hedge page on Facebook or Instagram and tell us what the fuck you think about this strange alien abduction.
And I'm gonna toss my hat into the plausible realm on this one. I'm gonna say this one, between the lack of information, just a little bit that we had, the fact that this dude's life got super fucked up. He was super damaged by this shit.
Yep.
Something happened to this dude, and I would say UFO abduction, certainly a possibility. And I think maybe a little fallout from a military operation might be another one. But I think you do have a point with the military operation. They probably would have just liquidated his ass.
Well, there is that point, but also, they pick certain people because there's people, most times to me, it's people that won't be believed. That's why I always joke about the farmer Jed, that goes out and he's just farming his crops, and it's just him and his fucking sister cousin. And, they're just hanging out, and it's usually people that won't be believed in the end of it anyway. So they don't really care because they'll just sound crazy. But this could be a case of where they were maybe in the 70s testing out, UFO technology that maybe they got during the 1940s. And this was an easy spot. You go to a fucking jungle and you just pick up some jungle boy, and you know what I mean? He comes back and he doesn't know what the hell's happening, and it's all history.
Yeah.
Strange.
That's as they say, some strange history.
Yes, it is. And we want to get into a UFO case. I thought this one was interesting. It wasn't too dense, and it was something that I found, it's one of the weirdest and strangest Brazil accounts of UFO abductions, and the fact that it happened in a jungle is quite bizarre. And I feel like more stuff happens than we would probably think in, small villages and places like that, because if you think about some of the folklore that comes from indigenous people and cave drawings and all that stuff, who knows what even people back in the day were seeing, because they, there wasn't no judgment and stuff. And then these stories that were maybe real became this whole folklore tale that you tell around a fire, in a campground.
Yep, that's how mythology works.
So, could be true, could not be true. What
do you think on this one? Are you a believer on this one?
I believe in anything, man. I think reptilians are controlling the world, and the queen eats children. So this is probably up my alley.
Do you think this was a reptilian? Do you think this was a gray? What aliens would you call this one? What's the reptilians' take on what really went down here? Piece the clues together, Tom, and give us your side.
Considering the idea that the rampant alien abductions during the 1960s to leading into the 70s of grays, because grays were used by the reptilians almost as an interface to help abduct people, so they didn't have to do it themselves.
Like a biomechanical drone of sorts. Yeah.
Yes. So, and I do believe that there's grays that exist that are actual biological beings that maybe were created in a vat, and then they were like, you know what, these motherfuckers are not listening to us anymore. They're over there in Zeta Reticuli. They're doing their own thing. So we got to build and think of something we can make that's more robotic and mechanic, that will just listen to us as soon as we say something, like, Manchurian Candidate type style gray. And they could have came in they're just doing even tests and just saying, because obviously they sprayed some weird shit into his mouth. All right. With this weird ball, like it's from fucking Phantasm. Wait.
That's fucking strange.
Where's the I and the U in Phantasm?
Cringy ass bitch.
I've got a little stoned for this episode, but yes, Phantasophobia.
Oh my god. And you know why those people get so fucking annoyed with you when you play those games?
Because I'm annoying.
Same reason we get annoyed with you when you play Dead by Daylight with us. You're supposed to listen. Those games involve you not talking every 3 fucking seconds.
Well, get ready for when I play that game in silence, where you literally have to be quiet the whole time. I'm gonna die every fucking 5 minutes.
It's not going to be a point to playing the fucking game. You're just going to sit there and continue to die.
I'll test myself. I'll do it.
I will watch that. I'll be there for that stream.
I'll put duct tape over my mouth. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it could be the possibility that it could be grays. Just testing out technology, or because obviously something was done to him. He had burn marks. And to be honest, they could have given him the old jerky, and they could have taken a sperm sample. Maybe he's a strapping young handsome boy, and they want to make a sexy fucking Brazilian gray alien man so he can fuck the chicks at the parade.
That's actually Tom's type. For those of you that don't know, a sexy gray Brazilian alien man is what Tom has wet dreams about.
Yes, other than Shania Twain, that is up there. You've heard my Shania Twain story.
Yeah, you've done your Shania Twain rant several times, and I still love you, buddy. I just she don't even look like a woman, so I bet you it don't feel like a woman. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what happened. I was 15, and I think an alien projected her image in my mind and made me cum the bed.
Bro, you're 15. You can get a boner about anything.
True.
You can trip. True. You can trip and smack your head on something and be like, why is my dick hard right now?
The fact that me and Billy both jerked off to Sears catalog is enough.
Yeah, you and like 40 million other Americans in the 70s.
It's true. Sears, man, all the way. Now Sears doesn't even exist. But, I can't do a fucking Tim Allen. You always talk about Sears all the fucking time. Go down to Sears and get your fucking tools. Can you do it, Tim Allen?
No.
Can't do it?
No. I was never been a Tim the confidential informant, cocaine snitch. 2-man Taylor.
Yeah, didn't he get involved with some fucking shit?
No, dude, he was like, he sold coke and then fucking rolled on people to get out of fucking doing prison time.
I feel like I heard that somewhere, but I didn't hear the full story. That's actually pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah, dude. It's that's a fucking story to cover, except that motherfucker's still alive and we'll get sued.
Yeah, it's true. Wait till he's dead and we'll cover him. We'll cover him of all sorts of cocaine. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm just tired.
It could be a little late by the time this episode comes out, but are you gonna blame the you know what for the death of Gilbert Godfrey?
Oh no, he died naturally. I don't know. I don't fucking know because it seems like, or is it part of the satanic cabal and their whole thing of killing celebrities every so often to register with the consciousness of humankind to make them feel bad and get into a low state because millions love Gilbert Gottfried and some women even jerked off to his voice.
How many people was Gilbert Gottfried relevant to until he died? Besides comedians and fans of comedy. I feel like there are not a ton of people that are talking about Gilbert Gottfried until Gilbert Gottfried died. Don't get me wrong. Love him. He's fucking hilarious. But it's not as though I don't know. I don't get the whole like, no, celebrities are automatically not human and should be kept on such a pedestal that the idea that they're simply murdered for the sake of some ritual or they never get sick and die. It's not something that happens to celebrities. It's like, no, they're people. They get sick and die too.
Yes, I understand that. And, I do believe that, there's a lot of celebrities that did die naturally or something happened to them. They are human as far as we know, unlike Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, people like that. But I do think there's a possibility, especially with not the big names, the people that kind of came in the industry and did a little bit and was here and there, they could die of natural causes. But when it comes to big time celebrities, they're getting murdered by the Illuminati and it's registering with the fucking consciousness of Earth and they're making them all sad. I think Robin Williams was fucking murdered and that's my 100% belief. I'll never back away from that one. And Heath Ledger, I believe, was fucking murdered. And same with Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington is my opinion.
I love that you failed to mention Anthony Bourdain in that same category.
Anthony Bourdain, 100%. He was murdered. I miss that man very much. Me and him used to hang out and fucking cook up some fish in fucking Guatemala. It was fun.
You guys cooked up some heroin together too.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain was one of my favorite chefs when I was cooking, and yeah, he was definitely murdered for trying to expose, I believe, the child sex trafficking ring. Same with Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. But that will come on another episode when we do talk about maybe celebrities being cloned and a bunch of weird shit. Who knows what's gonna happen, man? Who knows?
I could buy those theories. I could buy all of them getting whacked because they were trying to expose the cabal.
It's very strange. Now there's the guy that was exposing some of the stuff that's going on in Ukraine right now, and he's been missing for 3 days. And guess what? He did the same thing that John McAfee did, and he literally said in fucking tweets, "If I'm missing for more than 24 hours, I was murdered."
Yeah, those tweets are ignored by now. But also, the reason those tweets are ignored is because, devil's advocate, which I love playing on this show.
Yeah.
If you're gonna kill yourself and you want a little bit of man, when I die, people are going to be talking about this for quite some time. You send out I'm not suicidal tweet, and then you blow your brains out.
Yes, but who knows the true story behind all these conspiracies? And we will very soon be diving back into more strange conspiracies
That's
soon.
why you got to stay tuned, folks, because we're getting into the deep shit.
Yes, we will be getting some very deep topics coming up. We're going to take little breaks and do fun little episodes like this one where, there's not much info, but I do find it fascinating. So we'll talk about it. And I want to dive back into aliens before we started getting into some big, very massive alien cases that are more well known. But also we like covering stuff that is not well known. We want to, give your ears something new to tickle on. I don't know what that means, but let's say everyone, stay strange. Stay awake, not woke. Anton froze.
I was letting you do your thing. Go on your rant.
Yeah, www.strangebrewttv.com. Please subscribe to the Patreon if you are a fan. It will help the show out a lot. It will help the show out a lot. And, also leave a review. We've had a couple of really nice reviews recently on Apple Podcasts and iTunes, so we appreciate that. Even if you don't listen to it on those platforms, we will appreciate you even going out of your way if you have an iPhone or whatever the fuck you use, and just leaving us a nice little 5-star with a nice little comment. Say, hey, I love you guys. You guys are strange, and I support keeping the world strange. So you know where to find us. The website is the best place. You can find me. Even our Twitches should be up there now. I think I added them on there. So we should have everything up. I still got to tweak the site a little bit, but it's up and running. You're all good. Get your merch, all that type of shit. And I was going to say something else, but I'm fucking high and I forgot.
Stay strange, stay weird, fuckers.
Fuckers. All right, bye-bye, Twitch. Fuck.